If you hold cryptocurrency, get ready. Your life changes this year. Watch today's whole video. I have so much to share with you. The big takeaway that I want you to get out of this video is that it is 100% possible to become a millionaire in crypto, and this year is your best chance in a while, in years. Again, make sure you watch the whole video today as there's so much breaking news. Like and subscribe for daily videos just like this. Altcoin Daily gives you an edge in crypto. And I'm so glad you tuned in today because it is becoming increasingly more and more obvious that Wall Street and smart money are fully on board now. The same people who kept prices as low as possible for as long as they could are now attempting to pump the price up as high as they could go and onboard the next several billion. Just in the past few days alone, 5 companies invested $3 billion into Bitcoin. Strategy 1.3, Nakamoto 700 million, Metaplanet 200 million, GD Culture 300 million, 21 almost 500 million. Now, notice one thing about these companies here. These are all Bitcoin-centric companies. They believe in Bitcoin, and they're trying to corner the market as much as possible before Wall Street, before traditional finance, before all these sovereign wealth funds fully move in, and they are moving in. Fidelity has been buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just today, Fidelity bought another almost 6 million worth of Ethereum. BlackRock has been buying Bitcoin, and now we see they've been buying Ethereum and altcoins too. This is their altcoin portfolio in one of their funds. BlackRock's fund contains 7 different crypto coins, with Ethereum making up 92%, 2.7 billion in Ethereum. What does BlackRock know Ethereum that the rest of us have yet to figure out? And speaking of nation states and sovereign wealth funds, now we know Saudi Arabia, Dubai, the UAE at large is attempting to diversify from their large oil and gold resources. They want to become a leader in tech and finance around the world. This is what they talked about with Trump and the administration the other day. And they're finally revealing what has been the rumor for a while. They're buying Bitcoin. They're buying Bitcoin. They're buying a lot of Bitcoin. They're buying Bitcoin-like products to give themselves max exposure. This used to be a rumor. We now see that it is true. Most people don't realize this yet. Most people don't realize that Mastercard just integrated with native crypto company MoonPay. Mastercard now enables stablecoin payments at 150 million businesses globally.
And we need to sort of project out what the financial future looks like, because I sometimes don't think that the audience and all of us totally understand where this all goes, because it feels to me once you get to a point where a MasterCard or the Visa network and everybody is in stablecoin land, actually sort of finance actually fundamentally changes.
For sure. I think cryptocurrency wallets are going to be embedded everywhere. It's ultimately a new internet native technology. If you think about the legacy system, we had all these financial systems in different parts of the world that didn't communicate with each other in a shared language. Blockchains are that shared language. Stablecoins sit on top of them. And so we think it's going to be a natural next step that every single financial institution recognizes its importance. And so that was part of the reason last time I came on the show, we acquired Iron, which was a developer platform to bring APIs, bring really simple to easy to use infrastructure for any business to embed stablecoins.
And believe me, the future is now on this. The stablecoin bill is about to get passed, and all of these big companies, all of these Mag 7 and other big companies are fully ready for it. UBS, you know UBS. UBS is a top Swiss multinational investment bank. They operate in over 50 countries. They have 6.2 trillion in assets under management for their clients. So watch this. This is Amy Lowe, the chairman of UBS Global Wealth Management. She says she was shocked to see the data that the bank's wealthy clients are trying to diversify their dollar holdings into Bitcoin and crypto. She was flabbergasted to see such big interest in crypto, shocked that the standard seems to have jumped from maybe 1% to now 5%.
Interestingly, recently when I talked to some of the traditional family offices, they were telling me they are now looking at allocation of 5% in crypto. That's the reason why even traditional banks like us, I have to make sure we get our platform ready to take on this opportunity. So I think definitely opportunity.
Yeah.
And Anthony Scaramucci of Skybridge Capital echoed her outlook. He says, hey, us crypto people, we may not be bullish enough. And I love the fact that in this clip, he doesn't just say he's bullish, he gives his reasoning. He explains why we all might not be bullish enough.
Just a couple of things why we may not actually be bullish enough. Number one, proliferation of capital into the public markets for things related to Bitcoin and other assets. Kraken is going public, would be an example, but other companies are going public. America BTC spinning out of HUD 8 as an example. Yep. So there's a lot more capital in the space, which means it's going to eventually flow into things like Bitcoin and a Solana. Number two, copycats that are out there of strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy. There's a proliferation of those. You have the selling cycle. Jono, how long have you been on Wall Street?
Since 1984.
Okay, all right, so I've been, just like you, I'm 89, so there's a combined 70 years here. We're both lying about our age, don't look us up on Wikipedia. But what I'm getting to is we both know that Wall Street is a selling machine. And BlackRock is just turned on the dial of thousands of consultants going out there. And so you saw in April, after quote-unquote Liberation Day, Bitcoin sort of was not super correlated to the Mag 7 and others. So I'm just wondering, proliferation of capital, copycats, introduction of wider regulation, Wall Street selling machine for these ETFs and other products, we may not be bullish enough.
Analyst Tom Lee, on the same stages of consensus, recognizes the same thing. He shares his updated Bitcoin price prediction. He says that it is his opinion and his fund's opinion that Bitcoin in the future should be at least 1 million to 1.5 million. Huge if true.
Bitcoin is a little bit like a Swiss Army knife because it really does meet the fact that it's a risk-on asset, but it's a network value asset. And I think that as more people adopt Bitcoin, it still explains most of the increase in price. And of course, it's a great safe haven asset. I mean, I think for the next 10 years, I think the easiest way to think of Bitcoin is that it should have the same network value as gold. And gold, if it's a $23, $30 trillion asset, that means Bitcoin should be, at least $1 million, $1.5 million per Bitcoin.
People would love to hear that.
Make sure you subscribe to Altcoin Daily. We show you every day how the world is changing. Who else remembers the early days before anything like this was thought to be possible?
We're very happy to be included in the S&P 500. It now means that crypto is here to stay. It's going to be a part of everybody's 401k. It's a testament to the hard work of our employees and our investors. And it's a big appreciation to our customers, too, that helped us get to be one of the most trusted companies in America. And so we couldn't be happier.
Eric Trump revealing different information that's confirming kind of the same things. Eric Trump says he's been talking to nation states, sovereign wealth funds, big money of all kinds, and it is his opinion that the spike in Bitcoin is going to be significant as it's a race to the top to accumulate as much as possible.
Traditional finance are coming around in a massive way, and I think the kind of spike in Bitcoin is going to be significant. I hear it from sovereign wealth funds, I hear it from the wealthiest families, I hear it from the biggest companies. I mean, the adoption of it is incredible. I told this story, I was at MENA in Abu Dhabi, and I told this story right before I got there. A good buddy of mine runs one of the biggest banks in America. You can probably guess which one it is. They run a very, very large office for that bank in the wealthiest suburb of New York, right, in Greenwich, Connecticut. And he always said, a year ago, he was saying, hey, Bitcoin's funny money. Crypto's funny money. The other day, he goes, Eric, where do I buy this incredible kind of, cryptocurrency? Where do I buy Bitcoin? How do I get into this world? And so every single day, guys, I'm telling you, people who were kind of staunchly against it, people who didn't understand it, people who were closed-minded, people who were kind of rhinos to traditional finance are coming around in a massive way. And I think the kind of spike in Bitcoin is going to be significant. And therefore, it really is kind of a race to the top right now. There's a lot of people who are running very, very hard at this mission, and I promise you we're going to beat them in that marathon.
Again, make sure you subscribe. We share info with you like this on a daily basis. We give you an edge in crypto if you watch regularly. Altcoin Daily Army, this is our year. This is it. Crypto has entered a turning point, and you need to be here for this. I'm going to leave you with this one final clip. It looks like maybe a clip we've seen before. It's a clip you've never seen before. 12 billion Bitwise CIO Matt Hogan just revealed that over 10 countries are buying right now. And because of all this, he thinks that Bitcoin's price hits $200,000 before 2025 ends. I love the follow-ups and pushback from the interviewer, and I love how Matt Hogan responds to her follow-ups. I don't suspect these prices will stay this low for long. Listen to this.
Our prediction is that Bitcoin's going to get over $200,000 by the end of the year. What's happening right now is you have a huge amount of good news in Bitcoin. You have a U.S. strategic reserve where the government now owns Bitcoin. You have improvements on the regulatory front. You have institutional adoption. You may be wondering, why aren't prices higher? The reason is we've had a bunch of economic uncertainty that's caused not just Bitcoin, but all risky assets to fall. Stocks are down substantially. So the market has dipped, but I think over time, as that economic volatility subsides, you're going to see all that good news catch up to Bitcoin, and it's going to propel it to new all-time highs and indeed above $200,000 for the year.
What do we have to see? Like, is there a sign that we have to see for all that to happen?
Yeah, there are two things to keep your eye on. So one, Bitcoin's price is set by supply and demand, and we all know the supply, right? There'll only be 21 million. We only make 165,000 new ones a year. So you have to watch the demand. The three things to watch are ETFs gaining inflows, are corporations like MicroStrategy and Metaplanet continuing to buy Bitcoin, and our government's buying Bitcoin. If those three things happen, I think the $200,000 target is a lock. So I would keep your eye on that. It would help if the economy improves, if we don't enter a recession, that would help. But it's really about, does the demand materialize in the way I think it will? Every sign that I see suggests that ETFs are buying, corporations are buying, and governments are buying. That's why I'm so bullish, but they have to keep buying in order for us to get to that $200,000 target.
You said they keep on buying. At what scale are we talking about?
Yeah, so last year ETFs bought 500,000 Bitcoin. Again, remember, the Bitcoin network only produced 165,000 Bitcoin. So it bought 3 times the total supply. Corporations bought 250,000 Bitcoin. Governments, I think this year could buy a couple 100,000 Bitcoin. So I think if you look at those 3 sources, I think they'll buy more than 1 million Bitcoin this year. And where is it going to come from? The only place it can come from is people who already hold Bitcoin. The only way they will sell is if the price goes up. That's why I'm so bullish on the market.